really world class. Even I got hooked.
Championships and trophies, nangangalawang yan.
Ang kalaban ko lagi is myself. Yung isang decision na yon, pag mali yun, malaking effect na yun eh.
This should be taken by some kind of network. It should be a show.
Never ako nagkaroon ng hater, ng bully, as in like, nagsabi na hindi ka makakarating, na may na-achieve anything in life.
This show brought out the best in what you do.
Walang nag-guide sa akin that time. Siguro wala ako sa volleyball.
Kailangan mo dyan tapang, for me Hindi ka pwedeng mahihayin.
At least masabi ko nag-guess ako dito.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of For the Love of the Game, inspiring possibilities through real-life sports stories. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan, joined here by the Dinolicious Dinoli and the one-arm mamba Miss Kat Tan, who recently, mayroong new tattoo sa kanyang right arm. No?
Wow.
Siyempre, milestone yan. So yun, you can check that out sa Instagram ni Miss Kat Tan at the One Arm Mamba. So, yun, what's up, guys? So, ayun, maraming salamat for choosing to spend your Wednesday evening with us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Kumu. Especially yung mga nag-share, grabe, nung trailer natin on Facebook. Mantaan nyo, 100 plus shares on Facebook. So, grabe, bigatin tong guest natin for tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, ganun talaga to have that amount of share. But thank you guys. Thank you for being with us here again tonight on a Wednesday evening. We are currently live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Kumu. So to all our viewers, we encourage you to please do like and share this episode tonight on your page. And to those who has just tuned in, who first timers who haven't followed us yet, who haven't subscribed to us yet, we are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course Kumu. It's at For the Love of the Game PH, and we are also on Twitter. It's at FTLOTGPH. So, and also you can also catch the audio version of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor. So just type in FTLOTG on the search box to find us there. So there you go, guys.
Ayun, so it's about time we introduce our special guest for tonight. I'm sure the people can't wait. So our guest is a former third baseman and team captain of the Ateneo Lady Batters, was the former catcher and team captain of the RP Blue Girls, or also known as our women's softball team. So she won 2 gold medals sa SEA Games back in 2015 and 2019, a silver medalist sa Asian Women's Softball Championship back in 2017, was a 2-time 4th placer nung Asian Games nung 2014 and 2018, and he also participated sa Women's Softball World Championship in 2018. She's also the Vice Chair of the Philippine Olympic Committee Athletics Commission, a board member and Secretary General of the Amateur Softball Association of the Philippines, or ASAPHIL, and is part of the ad hoc committee of the Philippine Olympic Committee Safe Sport Technical Working Group. So before we bring her in, please watch this trailer.
And she is stone cold. Steve Austin. Cheska Altomonte, the catcher from the Philippines, has a cannon. Time slicing into the corner and to give it the wave in. The play at the plate, the slide. Aggressive base running head coach Santos down there at third base, paying dividends.
Pretty well out there. Along with this one is gone. Another home run for the
Guys, please welcome the world-renowned member of the Philippines women's softball team, none other than Miss Cheska Altomonte.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Cheska.
Hi,
Good
guys.
evening. Pleasure to have you here. Baka you want to take this opportunity to greet our viewers and yung mga give a shout out as well to the people that are tuning in right now. Yeah.
Oh, hello everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me as always. Feel the love, and hopefully I am able to not be a spaz today in this interview.
Di naman, grabe. I've watched your previous interviews. I'm sure you will be able to give us, comprehensive thoughts around the journey that you undertook when you started out with your particular sport. And of course, I want to give a shout out before Ken reads the comments to one person that actually recommended you to be our guest dito sa this was last year. And I think friend mo siya from Ateneo, si JJ Matalam. So she actually told me about yung RP Blue Girls. Sobrang dinodominate niyo yung sport sa Southeast Asian Games, and now you've rose up the ranks dito sa world of softball. So thank you, JJ, for recommending si Cheska. Ayan, maraming salamat.
Thanks, Jay.
Yan, speaking of JJ, nag-comment na. Sabi niya, yes, Cheska, champion of my heart. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Always supportive. Yeah, she's a good friend from college. So.
Ayan. Napabol pa ng heart
Emojis.
emoji. In love emoji.
Yun ba
Ayan.
yun? Hearty eyes.
Tapos yun, our first commenter, our longtime viewer, John Cheng. So sabi niya, what's up for the love of the game, fam? Hope everyone's here is having an awesome and beautiful Wednesday evening. Ayan, student yan, high school student. Or college na ba? College na rin ba siya?
Hindi, high school pa lang yan. I think,
High
school
ano
lang.
naman yan, grade 12 na
Ayan.
ata or 11. Yeah.
So finally, after all the schoolwork, I can enjoy another weekly dose of For the Love of the Game PH. Ayan. And from Gab Ferreras, ayan, good evening, Cheska. It's nice to know that you're retired from playing for the Blue Girls. You get to actually work behind the scenes as a Secretary General. I hope Coach Ana Santiago would listen to this.
Ayan.
I'm pretty sure Coach Anna will be here sooner or later.
She's gonna convince you, no, Cheska? Alam mo na kung ano yun.
Ayan, from Efil Awi. Hopefully your teammate.
Hi, Ethel. No, we actually met via Mindanao Peace Games, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she's also one of those people who really just love sports, and that's how we connected.
Wow.
Wow.
Ayan.
Hi, Ethel.
Hi, Ethel. Kilala
Ethel.
ko rin yan eh. Oh,
Nako.
nakasama ko din yan na.
Nag-comment yung isang guest natin.
Nako.
Ayan.
Mukhang maraming
Basahin na
magko-convince kay Cheska dito, ah. Walang
Attorney Mickey.
Attorney Mickey.
Ooh, what's up, Attorney Mickey?
GOAT of Philippine softball. What can you say about that, Chess?
Thanks.
Hello, Attorney Mickey. I guess I just wanna... I also wanna give a shout out to Attorney Mickey because with the recent developments sa Philippine sports, some of our basketball players are already playing overseas. I think sobrang laking tulong niya. Kanila Kiefer, kay 30, and kay Javi Gomez de Leaño for processing their documents. So, shout out to Attorney Mickey, but I agree. Yeah,
not just that though. Attorney Mickey is helping out the Athletes Commission too. So and the State Sport Commission. He's actually
educating you guys with the legalities, di ba? Tama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very active and very thankful for all the help, Attorney Mickey.
So sports, pag may concerns kayo sa legalities of sports, you reach out to Attorney Mickey Ingles of Ingles Calderon. Yun, law firm yan.
Ayan. Attorney Mickey, I'm sure matutuwa ka rin sa bagong tat ni Kat, inspired by Blackpink. Di ba?
Attorney Mickey.
Di ba? Ayan. Tas, syempre, shoutout ko din my mother-in-law, Josephine Miravalles. So, she says that softball is one game where Pinoys can excel and may pabol pa siya. The lady has a wholesome personality aside from her skills. Cheers. Tas yun, meron din pretty daw.
Cheers! Thank you! So nice!
Oo. Yan.
Galing,
Grabe,
galing.
iba-iba.
Ibang ano ngayon ni Cheska, but yeah, ayun, may lasa na si focus back on Cheska. Yes, we're gonna go. We're gonna start now with
Ayan.
with
So
our
yan.
Lodi chess. Sabi nga ni
Mhm.
Daryl, Dave. Yeah, dami. But ayan, thank you guys. Thank you for all your comments and But of course, Cheska, we just wanna check in of how you're doing. We are 2 years, almost 2 years in this pandemic. Like, we just wanna see how you're doing, what's keeping you busy. Given that, of course, hindi ganun ka-active ngayon ng sports, 'di ba? But what's keeping you busy nowadays?
Well, I'm actually working full time. So I'm working full time with a retail company. So that's keeping me busy. But other than that, all the work that I'm doing for ASAPHIL as Secretary General, and also for the Safe Sports Commission and the Athletes Commission, Safe Sports Technical Working Group and the Athletes Commission. So yeah, actually that's keeping me very busy. Still a lot to do on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yes, grabe, no?
How
Busy
how
pa rin,
are
no? Kahit,
you? Oh,
yeah, go
busy
Kat.
pa rin siya sa but I mean, like, how are you? Of course, an athlete needs yung natin physical work and stuff. But like, how are you keeping up with that naman aspect of your life?
I'm still active. I still work out pretty regularly. Except when I get really busy with all the paperwork and work that I have to do. But other than that, like I was able to set up a home gym, so I'm happy with that, and I still get to be active. Other than that, sometimes I go run and bike, just try to be outdoors. But I really do miss, being part of a team and working out with people. Since I'm in a team sport, it's been a struggle actually working out alone. It's not as fun, but it's more or less.
How do you think?
doing
Yeah,
okay.
how do you think we're gonna be able to bounce back from this whole ordeal of this pandemic and stuff?
For sports, or well, for specifically
Yeah,
for softball too, like I think it'll be a struggle. There's going to be a lot of issues that come up when people are starting to play again. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of injuries because it's been a while. I think what's most important now is really staying fit and really working on rehab any injuries that you've had, like, and all of that. So I think it's very, like, now is like a crucial time if we want to be able to get back healthy. You got to make sure the body's ready for the stress of back to play, because it's not going to be yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Cheska, like, in relation to what Kat asked you. Kasi syempre, you're, the vice chair for the POC Athletes Commission, and you serve as a board member and Secretary General of ASAPHIL, which is the Amateur Softball Association of the Philippines. Given your stature when it comes to Philippine sports, and your influence with regards to national sports, on a national level, how do we actually, paano tayo how kumbaga, what's the status, how are we doing, paano ba ang natin dito, like, how are we gonna parang recover from this, kasi 'di ba parang almost 2 years na tayo, and the only ones that have been on activities, like sabi mo nga yung national team ng softball hindi makapag-train sama-sama. 'Di ba, parang, I mean, coming from your own perspective, like, how are we gonna recover from this? How are we gonna, as a country, when it comes to Philippine sports?
You know what? Like, it's really going to be hard. Like, there really needs to be a plan put in place. But I really believe in the resiliency of Filipinos, and if anyone can get it done, it's really going to be us, as a country. It's just that like, the athletes really need the support of their federations, of their NSAs, and the government, of course. Like, they're really going to need everything to back them up, like everything and everyone, any support that they can get, they're gonna need it. Not just financially, but when it comes to the equipment that they need and the mental game. I think that was actually going to be one of the toughest. How to
Yeah.
Bring back that mental toughness and everything. So like, I can't say, like, it really differs per sport, and I see, like, as part of the athletes commission, how the sports are, how they're dealing with it, and how what they're trying to do to make sure that we don't fall behind. But like, I think it's possible. It's going to be hard, but it's possible.
Right, right. And, speaking of which, di ba, nandito pa rin tayo sa pandemic. And you, as an athlete, going through so many challenges, ay mapag-uusapan natin yan mamaya. Ano yung being an athlete that went through so many challenges, ano masasabi mo for those that are currently athletes right now? Not knowing, having so much uncertainty with their future with regards to sports. Lalo na pag bago pa lang sila.
Oh, well, the only thing I can say is to really just don't give up, like, don't stop. That's like the biggest trap that you can fall into, like stopping now because you think that everyone else is stopping because of the pandemic, when in reality they're not. Like, all the other teams, like, they're training right now. Other countries are able to deal with the pandemic better than we have, and they're playing already. So it's, I would say, like, really just do what you can to try and stay active in your
Yeah.
sport, because we can't afford to stop now.
Yeah. So, Cheska, most of your interviews, you love talking about your teammates, but for this particular episode, I hope you don't mind. We go way back sa ano mo, sa start ng athletic journey mo. So, yeah, I gotta ask, like, when you were a kid, talaga bang softball or baseball yung gusto mo? And how did your love for the game grow from there?
Okay, so I first started playing when I was 10. I played baseball first. I started playing with my brother. And I don't know, I can't even pinpoint the exact moment I fell in love with the game, because I felt like the moment that I started playing, like, I was already in love with it. I think, all my teammates over the years can really confirm that too. I never really hid how much I love the sport. So I played baseball up until high school, but, like, in high school I also, like, switched from softball to baseball, then full-time softball in college. So yeah, I mean, and then
Di ba you
tuloy-tuloy
guys
na
are
yan.
a family of you guys are a family of softball, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang brother mo,
Yeah,
national team.
so I have
Can you talk about that, yung
actually,
background ng family nyo? Yeah.
okay. So I started playing with my brother. So it was my younger brother and I that started playing. So we played baseball. The year after, I think everybody else followed. So the girls played softball and the boys played baseball. So and in college we all went to Ateneo. So we have the 3 girls in softball, and the 2 boys graduated, and I have one, the youngest now, who's still playing for the Ateneo baseball team. So yeah, we turned out to really be a family of baseball, softball.
Grabe, no?
Grabe yung ano.
I can imagine the competitive nature.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba,
Oh yeah, for sure.
ito Katken, nung nag-feedback si Cheska dun sa trailer, pinakita niya sa brother niya. So pinasama nila yung Cheska Altomonte has a cannon, di ba? Yung arm niya is a cannon. Sabi nung brother niya, much bet, mas magaling pa rin daw siya kay Cheska. Anong masasabi mo doon, Cheska? On live, di ba? Para
My brother is on the national baseball team, and he's also a catcher. And I mean, he's got a strong arm, but I still think mine's stronger.
I love it. I love
He's
it.
got
I
a
love
stronger
that
arm.
one.
No. he's got a
Ayan,
stronger.
nag-comment tuloy.
Ayan, nag-comment, confirm.
Ano mo sabihin ng confirm? Confirm mas
His arm is
malakas.
stronger.
Okay.
It could go either
I-guess na lang
way.
natin sa next episode para makapag-defend yung brother niya. Kasi lugi, si Cheska yung nandito, siya lang makakapagsalita di ba? So,
Yeah. But yeah, well, you mentioned nga yung softball and baseball. But for those who are not very much aware of the sport, yung softball, even us, kasi parang mas I think mas knowledgeable ang tao or mas naririnig yung baseball talaga, 'di ba? As yung but like what is the difference between softball and baseball sa sport?
So baseball is okay. So the ball is smaller. The base lengths are farther apart. The pitch comes at you from overhand. Softball is underhand, and just a few other minor differences. But that's I think those are the major differences really between the two sports.
The rules and the other
Similar.
stuff are similar. Yeah. All the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. More or less the same. Yeah, just minor differences. How baseball you're allowed to take a lead. Softball you can't. Like you can only leave the base when the pitch is released. When the ball is released.
Yes.
The bat
Okay.
sizes are different. The innings, like baseball has 9 innings, softball has 7. So yeah,
Okay.
minor
Those
differences. But more or
minor
less.
difference.
Yeah.
Okay. But,
But,
the in general,
pretty similar.
Yeah.
Pretty
obviously.
similar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. At least it clears a lot for a lot of people kasi, honestly naman, I think you've shared din naman sa past interviews mo na, I mean, as compared to basketball, which our Filipinos are knowledgeable about the sport and its rules, at least na-clarify natin yung difference with softball and baseball. Thank you.
Mas
For clarifying.
naiintindihan ng tao.
Yes.
I think mas people will be more engaged with, understanding and knowing the sport more, 'di ba?
Pero madungis ang sport na kasi sa mud 'di ba? Talagang magi-slide ka, 'di ba? Cheska, sa basketball papawisan ka lang makuha mo lang yung pawis ng kalaban mo. Pero sa kuha mo talaga yung dirt 'di ba? Sa madudumihan yung mo.
Imagine
yes.
the stress my mom had to go through having to clean
the
all our
laundry.
white.
Oo.
Lalo ang puti.
Mas mahirap maglaba kaysa maglaro ng softball, 'di ba?
True.
Tama ba?
True.
Oo, 'di ba? Sabi ko na kasi.
So I don't know if mom's watching, but appreciate
Your
you,
mom
Mom.
is the real MVP for
for real.
cleaning all those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think dito may mga familiar kilala to ni Cheska. I guess I just wanna,
Coach
shout them
Ed.
out. Si Ed M. L. Oliver, the first girl who played baseball in Asia Pacific in majors for Ilam selection. Wow, 'di ba? And
Coach
sabi
Ed
nga
was my coach that time.
And coach, sabi ni coach, siya pa, sinabi niya, I mean, reference to him, Coach Ed is very proud of you. And
Thanks, Coach Ed. It's been a while.
Eto, kilala mo to for sure.
Of course. Head
yung
coach.
hindi po mapayag sa decision mo back in 2019. Way to go, darling.
Yeah. Coach Randy's like the father to me already. Like I've been under him for like years since I was a kid.
Right. Pero 2014 ka na pumasok ng national team, di ba? 2014, 2015.
Yeah, but he coached me, I think, once in Elam, like in 2006.
Right.
He was my coach in Ateneo, and then in the national team. So Coach Randy knows exactly who I am as an athlete.
Yeah. I just wanna give a shout out din kay Coach Randy because hindi biro po yung na-accomplish ng team niya, 'di ba? And hindi magte-10 'di ba? I think unblemished hindi lang every SEA Games may softball kasi the host country has the option, 'di ba, Chess, if they can have a softball. So unblemished po yung record ng Philippines, no? 10 straight yan, dating all the way back to 1979, all the way to 2019. 10 straight SEA Games gold medal po yan. I just want to give a shout out to Coach Randy Deezer for, accomplishing that feat, di ba? And world rank number 12 po sila ngayon. If I'm not mistaken. Chinek ko yan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ay, teka, sorry. Yeah.
Ayan. So, yeah, Chess, I just wanna like go back kasi syempre, Dino mentioned your world number 12 but di naman naging madali yung journey. Like you guys were losing before you weren't able to win against yung mga world ranked teams. Like can you discuss lang like how the process started? Like parang bang were you guys like deer in the headlights going in when you guys were starting?
Okay, so well, first I'm gonna have to share that way back when in the 60s, 70s, the Blue Girls actually won third in the world championship. So at one point they were number
Mm.
3 in the world.
Yeah.
They played very competitively. They did really well internationally. And credit to them because like that now is the standard that we're trying to reach. So over the years, of course, the other countries, their programs started to get a lot better. Of course, Japan, China, Chinese
Yeah.
Taipei, Korea,
Korea.
and then we started to fall behind. So when I came in, we were struggling to try to get back to that level to like compete internationally because we were already behind all these other countries with their really great programs. So I came in 2014 or 2013, and we had just started to bring in Filipino Phil foreigners or the Philams mostly.
Right.
So with that program that we were also starting to catch up to the other countries' programs because of course like they were playing in Division 1 schools in the States, and they we weren't that far behind. I think skills wise everything was there. It was just that they had more experience. They get to play hundreds of games a year, and here in the Philippines like we play 16 at most. Like the
Yeah, yeah.
UAP there's only
UAP.
like 6 teams, and if you
Ilang
make it,
teams lang.
and that's only if you make it to the finals. So
Yeah.
I think that's like a huge gap. So yeah, like we started training, started fixing the program. So of course, credit to our coaches. That would be Coach Randy, Coach Anna, Coach Ron, and Coach Anto. They started adjusting, and we started to see progress and improvement. So before, Southeast Asia, like we've always been, strong. Like as you mentioned, like we've never lost. But Asian was always Asian level was always a struggle for us. Like, in particular, like of course Japan, China,
Yeah.
Chinese Taipei, and Korea. So those were the 4 teams that we were, having trouble with.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we just, with the program as the years went by, we started winning, not just against the Asian teams, but also the world ranked teams. So I think, yeah, I mean, it's a long story, but basically, like since then, like I think we've been heading towards what we wanted to achieve and what the former Blue Girls team or the original Blue Girls team really achieved before. So we're scrappy though. We're really scrappy as a team, but
Right.
I think we can still compete internationally, and we've made a name for ourselves also.
Right. What do you think was different? I mean, apart from ako, bringing in Phil Ams for the softball team. Like, what do you think was the integral factor in allowing our softball team to elevate its game, and now it's world ranked number 12?
I think what really made the difference was the support. So we got support from our current president, so Mr. John Henry Lillier, our NSA president. He really was supporting the team and funding the team, and also the Philippine Sports Commission. So they also started helping us with paying for all these international tournaments. So it was really that program, like the support in that program, and sending the team to international tournaments that really made the biggest difference, I think. So it wasn't just the Philam program. I think it was also like for us national players, the ones who were born and raised here in the Philippines and
Right.
grew up playing here in the Philippines. It was exposure to these international tournaments, because I can say for sure, like I am like maybe 3 times the player that I was in college. Like, I'm a
Wow.
lot better now than I was. And same for all my teammates, and some of them are here now. I can see them in the comments. But like I think we're also a lot better, and I think really can compete with all
Yeah.
these international players. So
Right.
yeah, it was
Eh,
that exposure because we
Right.
needed that experience
Right.
to be able
Yeah. Yeah.
to get to that level. And I
Yeah.
mean, sorry, I'm just gonna have to brag about one of my teammates. So Gel or Sabia, she in one of the tournaments in 2019, she won. Okay, somebody help me here. 2, 3 awards. I'm not sure, but this was in the tournament, Asian tournament with you have the Japan, China, Chinese Taipei. They have Olympians on their teams, and Gel won 2 of the awards for the tournament.
Wow.
The only player to win 2, maybe it was 3. I'm not even sure. 2 awards for that tournament. So I mean, and she was born and raised here in the Philippines. So it's there. Thanks, CJ. 2 awards. Yeah.
May ito yung sinasabi, 'di ba kakasabi lang niya support, nagtanong siya, tinulungan
ang bilis ng
siya
sagot
yan ang support, 'di ba? That's the importance, 'di
Cool.
ba? You don't have answers to, everything in the world, but with the support of people like Christy
Of
Joy,
course.
nasagot yung
My teammates.
'di ba? Yan yung, 'di ba? On and off the court yung support, hindi lang during the games, 'di ba? But apart from support, Cheska, parang what I got then from what you shared is the importance of exposure and experience. And I think that, I mean, I don't know if you're up to date with regards to basketball, pero ngayon lumalabas na yung, kumbaga, what are your thoughts in general about yung our athletes going outside to train and compete with the best of the world, di ba? What are your thoughts around that? Kasi naging turn around yo for your team, di ba? So what's your general feeling and thoughts around Filipinos going outside the country to train and
I think
compete?
it's great. I think that would be a great program. That's very, very, very important. And even if you don't get the results internationally now, you're gonna see improvements in the athletes themselves. So regardless of whether you win or not in these international tournaments, it's the experience that's really going to get you, like, drive you to be better. That's exactly what happened with softball. So in the beginning, like, yes, we were going to all these international tournaments. We weren't winning. We were losing, and sometimes we were losing badly. Sometimes
Right.
we'd lose in regulation, so we wouldn't even complete the game because they were too far ahead and they had to end the game, right? So, and then the year after, 2 years after, 3 years after, you can see us now winning against these teams. So I think it's very important, and people shouldn't be discouraged by their first international exposure. I think it's important to just keep doing it.
Right. How did you guys manage to follow through? Kasi
Yeah.
madaling mag-start strong, 'di ba? Madaling mag-start strong, 'di ba? Pag basketball, you can be strong in the first quarter pero second to fourth wala na. Pero as a program, what did you think allowed the national team program of softball to follow through? 'Di ba kasi 2014 ka nag-start, and then ngayon medyo ang lakas niyo nung bago nag-pandemic, 'di ba? 10 straight, and then you beat New Zealand. So parang what are your thoughts around that?
I think the continuity of the program is what's important. So for sure, well, at least I can only speak for softball, but what really worked out for us is that we did not keep the entire team for those how many years, like 6, 7 years. So we have veterans and we have new, the younger girls come in. So even in like these international tournaments, we were exposing like the younger girls. So like even if they don't eventually make the lineup, they're there. They're playing in
May
these international
transition.
tournaments. They're getting the exposure that they need. Yeah. So for example, because if you keep like players like the same team for several years without exposing the younger generation, once they're done, you're gonna start from scratch again. So there's got to be like a mix of both. Like it's when it's time for the older ones to go.
Mm.
That's when
Sino ba pinaparinggan mo, Cheska?
Sino dyan?
May edad na rin kami.
No,
De, joke lang.
Makes sense though. It makes sense. Yeah.
Oo.
I think that's the
I agree.
perfect way in making or parang inaano niyo yung knowledge yung transition nga na sinasabi niyo na it's not isasabak niyo lang sila agad-agad na I mean but I'm doon lang sa shinare niya yung sabi niya na they were also like there were times that they were losing badly and stuff. I just wanna and yun nga years after you're here, you're making a name for yourselves and stuff, pero yung mga moments na ganon na yung down moments na you're losing, like how do you get your team back dun sa strength, yung ano ninyo na hindi kayo mawalan ng hope, mawalan ng lakas para lumaban, to keep going?
Yeah. Well, honestly, like I'm just gonna have to give credit to the team itself, like everyone in the team. Like nobody really gave up, and everyone believed in the team and what we can do. So yeah, it gets hard. A lot of time it's really just like there's no way we're gonna be able to win against these, But the thing with softball, is that it's a game of failure. So we're also kind of used to failing constantly in the game itself. So like you're like a 300 batting average is already considered good. That's getting a hit 3 times out of 10, right? So you fail more times than you succeed. So I guess growing up in the sport also, like we really learn how to deal with that and move forward from it. So it's really just about how much you believe in the team and what the team can do and your belief in each other. Because yeah, maybe we lose, but there are still some really, really good plays made in the game. And if we focus on that, then it's like, hey, maybe it was like someone almost hit a home run against Team USA, but it was Rob. That's still a highlight, I think. It's just like a little bit more push that's needed. So
it's important. You're saying it's important that you really just focus on the positives rather than staying on the negatives. Yeah, of course, losing and failure is part of it.
Yeah. It's that and what you're gonna do about it. So it's either you give up or you're gonna work harder to get what you want.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's I agree.
what I got kasi is, parang for sure pinagplanuhan yan eh. Hindi lang support yan eh. I think pinagplanuhan yan because hindi mo naman, pag di ka nagplano, wala kang transition of what Cheska is actually saying eh. Yung mixing veterans with the young players, it's perfectly planned. And what I got from this, if you want a successful program or something successful when it comes to sports, or not just with sports, it's important to have a plan and following through and believing in that plan. Kasi sabi nga nila, Cheska, di ba, may times na nadudurog sila.
Dinudurog na sila.
Oo, di ba? And yun, grabe.
Yeah, and just constantly like having hope that, eventually you're gonna be successful, you're gonna succeed, and you just never give up. That's what I got from her, you focus on that and not staying, it's yan nga, sabi nga ni Cecil, failure is part of the process. Yeah, true. Very true. Na nakita ko lang sa comment, nasakto lang. Yun yung but of course, Cheska, like when you were training, sabihin natin before, you like, and you were also working. You also had a job. Like, how was it for you, like managing a full-time job and also being an athlete? How were you able to manage that kind of life?
With crying bouts in between. I'm just kidding.
Pero seryoso, I mean, were there days that you wanted to cry? Kasi
yeah, they're not just wanted. There are days that I cry.
Yeah.
Literally, hindi lang wanted, no? Umiyak talaga, di ba?
Umiyak talaga, yeah.
How is it difficult, like, managing that? that kind of
It was
situation?
it was hard, yeah, but it was hard, but it was necessary, I think. I also wanted to pursue my career, and I mean, not saying that we're not getting enough support, but like the allowance that we're getting was not enough. So I really did need you know to work. So
Yeah.
it was tough, but the great thing about it was that I have a very supportive company and process. They are they're just like very supportive. Like they were all for it. Like anytime I needed to finish with training, even if I had to come in a little bit late, like they would be okay with that. And like anytime like I had to leave for tournaments, like it was very easy to talk to them. So very thankful to Sir Chris, Sir Maya. Like it's it made everything a lot easier for me doing the whole thing because of that.
Right. Siguro naman yung pinagdaanan mo nung nananalo kayo, grabe rin yung iyak mo, 'di ba? Because yung pinagdaanan mo, 'di ba? Tama ba?
Oo. Nabawi
Yun
naman.
You can only know victory if you've experienced pain, 'di ba? Tama. 'Di ba? Parang
Wow.
pinagdaanan mo yun.
Yeah.
Diba?
Galing nun din.
Pero like na-curious ako, Chess, parang like paano nyo na nakalimutan ko tuloy pero nakalimutan ko yung sabihin ko pero like I forgot Shit, I forgot.
Ayan na si Coach Ana Santiago.
Ayan. Basahin mo natin yan.
Hi, Cheska. Oo. Sabi ni Elise Mendoza, nobody really knows how Cheska was able to manage that life.
Yun nga Natanda ko na yung tatanong ko. Sorry, Cheska.
See, there you go.
At least
Nasa ako
At least no.
Ito magandang tanong to. Pinaghandaan mo talaga to.
There you go.
I'm really curious and I guess a lot of people want to know din. You had an opportunity back in 2014 or 2015, if I'm not mistaken, to have a full-time job with Solar Sports, a high-paying job. But sabi mo nga, you still chose the sport of softball to be ngayon naging captain ka and you led the team. Like, what was the reason behind that decision na you chose your sport over a job that would pay you a lot of money and related to sports then? Like, what was the yung reason behind it? I'm just curious.
The only reason behind that, actually, I loved softball. So I loved it, and I was like, I really wanted to go back and play again. So at that time, I came back, I think, for the World Championships, and Coach Anna actually she's been there through everything. I talked to her through all my decisions. She also convinced me, saying like, are you really done with the sport? We'll welcome you back if you wanted to play again. So that was the time when, for the World Championships in 2016, they announced that the Olympics was back for Tokyo 2020, and there was no qualification for the World Championships. So all teams, like whoever could go, were qualified.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was when I was just like, hey, the World Championships is like the highest level of the tournament for softball, like as an individual sport, not as a multi-sport event, right? Because that's like the Olympics. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Might as well, diba? Like come back and play for the World Championships. And then that year is when we started winning. So we won against Mexico, against China, Chinese Taipei, all these, the teams, the Asian teams that we couldn't win against in the past. So, and from 2016, I continued playing. 2017, that was when we played the Asian softball championships and won silver. So that's when we won against China, Chinese Taipei, Korea, all the other teams. Lost to Japan because Japan, but also like we played 3 games that final day. It was like a ladder. Like we had to beat China, then had to beat Chinese Taipei, then we played Japan in the final. So that was crazy. That's when we won. But yeah,
so
it
literally,
was really just that. I really just love playing.
Love the game. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So looking back, Cheska, that was the decision back in 2015, 2014. Ngayon, 2021 na 7 years have passed. What was your biggest takeaway from that decision that you made? I'm just curious. Looking back,
Biggest takeaway from that,
that
looking back,
decision. What did you learn from that decision that you made?
well, lots of lots of things really. But well, main takeaway from that going back and playing is that
Right. Kasi di ba we get to
if you
yung
love the
parang
game, you'll make all the sacrifices. And you'll put in the work.
Right. Wow. Kasi ang gandang balikan di ba, Cheska? Ang gandang balikan. Yeah, Ken, you were saying, Ken.
Wala, pang no matter how like people think it's an irrational decision on her part. Pero parang the love of your sport, the passion that you have emerges eh. Kasi you've brought blood, sweat and tears in trying to excel in that sport, and wala eh, talagang bata pa lang si Chess, talagang gusto niya talaga eh.
Yeah, and I really believe in what the Philippines can do with softball internationally. I really think that we can compete and really can make a name for ourselves in the international level. And that's why I'm still doing something for the sport, right? Like I'm still helping out now as the Secretary General because I don't think I'm ready to leave my teammates behind.
Nice. Grabe, no? I think what I got is really yung committing to what you believe in, which is and what you're really passionate about. Parang dyan, finalo mo talaga yung your heart is telling you, di ba?
Yeah.
Grabe.
Parang pagmahal mo talaga, babalik-balikan mo. Hindi mo talaga maiiwan. Yan.
May double meaning pa yan, Kat? Wala naman.
Hindi.
Okay.
Personally,
Yeah.
like me, with basketball, it will always parang,
Yeah.
with us, our sport really will
You can-
always be a part of us. Na kahit, even if like we don't physically play it anymore or we're not
Right.
very active
Yes.
with it anymore, obviously it will always be a part of us, like our
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
being, right?
Exactly. And hopefully it'll come to the point where I've contributed enough for the program to continue on its own, and I can take a step back and really just support and watch the team succeed. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean,
Full
like what
support
you're
kami dyan.
doing, what you're doing right now, like even if like you decided to retire, is it no? But I mean, like,
comment.
I mean, like coming up with that decision, of course, it's hard, but I mean, what I'm just saying is that you're still around it, you're still in it, you're still a part of it. So, parang for me lang is yung sinabi mo na it's really for the love of the game. Like you cannot.
Yeah.
You
And
cannot,
I also think that I'm in the best position. Like I'm the best person to really do it because I went through it myself. Like the program. Like I was there to through it all. Like not just as an athlete, but I also like at the time was helping manage the team. So like I know I think well, at least I think I know what the team needs, and I'm also very Anna.
Nako.
The comments are distracting
Nako.
me.
Diba? Pa-block na ba natin si Coach? De, joke lang.
Pwede naman.
Baka...
Yeah, no, but I think there.
Baka
So like
mag-leave si
what I
Cheska.
think, what my strengths are also is that I ask also what I think. Like I consult with the coaches all the time. Like I ask Coach Anna also, like maybe there are former Blue girls who who can help out with the program or anything. And
Right.
recently we just appointed new members to ASAPHIL to really help out with the program, and I'm excited for that because I know that they're very passionate about the sport too. So I think we're taking the right step also as a federation, putting the right people in place. So I'm excited for that.
Right. Yeah, and
Sige,
I
go.
was wondering, Cheska, like 'di ba? Syempre during the time that you were the team captain and you were the catcher, 'di ba? Syempre pag athlete ka as much as possible, 'di ba? You wanna focus on being an athlete. What made you decide to take in being a ano? Kasi parang syempre ako pag player ako gusto ko focus ako player kasi mahati ako diyan eh. Parang 'di ba? Parang 'di ba? I want to focus on being the best athlete. Then why did you decide? But it could have been anyone to be the team manager, but why was it you?
Out of
And why did you
necessity
say
lang
yes
naman.
to? Out of necessity.
Out of necessity. Out of necessity. Yeah, we were just having some problems internally also with I guess the management and how to go about it. So I just helped out. Like I someone had to do it, and I really believed in the team. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. Just go ahead and do it.
Right.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
you mentioned, I think you're really firm in your belief na Filipinos can excel in softball. Like what do you see in Filipinos that makes you say na we could compete in the world stage consistently
Yes.
sa softball?
Yes. Yes.
Well, because okay, so one, like we're resilient, we're scrappy. I think I keep saying that, like we're scrappy, but that's because we really are. I think we grew up
Right.
playing with by whatever means that we have. Like I have some
Yeah.
teammates who are like playing with whatever equipment that they could find, like the balls weren't even actual balls. But we somehow get things done. No matter what, right? We're able to execute. And you would think that, of course, with how the Americans the Filipinos who grew up in America play, which is basically the American way of playing softball. It's different from the Philippines, and yet we're still able to work well together. And with us, like we adjust to however we see we can play the game best. So if that's short game or power game, like it's hard for like at least my smaller teammates then to say that they're power players because
Right.
the stature is different. So yeah, we just adjust to however we think is best or how whatever works well for the team.
Right.
Feeling ko nadidistract siya sa comments eh.
I am getting
Nakikita
distracted.
niya eh.
Oo. Okay.
I am getting distracted.
Cheska, sisihin mo si Kat. Tinanong niya.
Oh,
Di
I'm
ba?
so sorry. I mean,
Wala na kami magagawa dyan. Tinanong
my
ni Kat.
bad,
Di
my
ba?
bad.
Ano
So,
ba?
I'm
Kick
so
out na muna si Coach
sorry.
Randy tsaka si Coach Ana.
Tama. So, yeah. Siguro Cheska parang, I don't know if it's the same answer din, pero you know what has kept you going? With sports in general. Yung ubaga, alam ko, 'di ba sabi mo nga may days na gusto mo na umiyak, may days na 'di ba parang ikaw pa nagluluto para sa team mo eh, tapos ikaw rin yung logistics, ikaw pa yung manager, ikaw yung team
What's
captain, 'di
making
ba?
you stay?
'Di ba? Parang like what keeps you going?
This is going to be a major promotion for your podcast or it's for the love of the game.
Ayun.
Yes.
Wala.
Grabe, no?
Yun lang talaga. Like I really don't have any other answer. Other than that, it's like I really not just the love for the game, but I really believe in what we can do for the sport. Like, and it's not just winning all these international tournaments, but it's also like really getting the Filipinos, like the ones who grew up playing here, like really seeing their potential and being able to inspire like all the other young girls out there, young boys for the men's softball, like to get into the sport because look at what we can do, diba? Like in the international level, it gets them also in better situations. Like it's there's a lot of things to it, and I think
yeah.
I don't know. Softball. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
I think if you firmly believe in something, you really would stay with it, fight for it, no matter what, right?
Grabe. No?
I mean,
And
she's not going anywhere. She's still there, guys.
And
Don't
I
worry.
and I can
So here
imagine
for now.
what you went through, Cheska, kasi syempre 'di ba as an athlete prone ka rin sa injury tapos nagma-manager ka pa, nagluluto ka pa habang may 'di ba parang mga ganung
Yeah.
bag.
There's there's one time pa nga, well, Coach Anna knows this one. But there's one time I almost got scammed, like, not 2 million
Scammed?
pesos.
Wow.
Scammed, yeah. So the story, I don't know if I should even make this kind of, but too late. So the story there is, I was in charge of booking all the hotels, the flights, everyone for like even the film, so like their flights, anyway. So PSC was supporting us at the time, and they were gonna pay for the hotel. So ako naman, like, I just had to get the quotation, the bank details, and me, like, I was working full time, so I would train in the morning, so that's like 5 to 11 a.m. and then I drive straight to work. So like when I see emails, I reply like on my phone when I'm mga ganon. So always quick replies. Yeah, and then we got to the States na, and the hotel was like, where's the transfer? Where's the payment? I'm like, here, like the payment is here. It's been paid already. It's like transferred, we wire transferred it already. And then I was like, maybe it's like the international difference, like 3 days in between. That's why. I was like, okay, waiting. And then while I was having dinner, I got an email from me talking to the hotel manager. But it was sent to me, as me. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I started backtracking. So what happened was, like, someone inserted themselves in the thread, made like a different email address for both parties. So mine was like my email address changed one letter. For the hotel, it wasn't their email address changed one letter. And then so they would email that person and I would email that person, and then they would email back parang as if mga ganon. Anyway, so
Nabawi nyo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So buti na lang kasi the bank
Papawisan ako ng malamig doon, Cheska, kung ako yung nasa lagay mo, ha? Di na ako papakita sa Tinder.
I know. So like, so basically what happened was nga that, buti na lang I insisted that the name can't be a person's name and had to be the hotel's name. I guess that's why they weren't able to withdraw it from the account.
Yes.
So it was with them
Buti
na for
na
like 5
lang.
days ata. And yun. So like that night, fine, we were in Georgia at the time, so 12 hours different, and I had to wait until the banks and PSC opened in Manila. So like the whole night I was awake and I was going to Coach Anna's room, like on the floor crying, making calls and saying, why am I doing this? Like, why? Like,
bakit sa akin nangyari to?
Like, I should be sleeping, waiting, getting ready for the game tomorrow. But here I am, trying to figure out how to pay all of that. So that was fun. That was fun.
Man, like...
Pero ang sarap balikan kasi pag nung time na hindi masaya nung
sarap
time
balikan
na
at tawanan na lang no?
I know.
Pero at that time, like, nawala na,
so
kumbaga,
parang kunin mo na ako, Lord.
Ko.
Bakit yun nangyari? How to explain this to the association? Grabe.
I mean, that would just like, you see lang like how parang may mention nga kanina dito, like parang hindi na human si Cheska, and like with her managing all those
mutant
like the stress of handling that, and then the stress of being an athlete playing, alam mo yun, ako hindi ko maiisip paano ko ma-handle yung
lalo
sarili.
pera yan, no?
I
mean, mas naintindihan. I mean, masakit pag pera mo, pero pera ng iba yan eh, di ba?
Diba?
Grabe yun, my God.
How do you compose yourself in those kinds of situations? Like, I mean, like when yung pagiging athlete mo, and then in managing the team, how do you like compose yourself pag may mga ganong klaseng sitwasyon?
Well, I wasn't very composed, Coach Anna can tell you that story. And then the next day I committed the grave mistake of forgetting my jersey.
Oh wow!
And like,
you're
like
off
that
sync na, no?
You just don't commit that. And then, Coach Randy at least was very nice. He was just like, okay, let's go back and get it. normally that would mean you sit out from the game. Like, you gotta run back.
Wow.
I think it's important that you have these people like, believing and trusting you also.
That's great.
Right.
Supporting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
How do you
but it was in hindsight it was like, I can't say I didn't do everything for everything the team needed, I guess, at the time.
Right. Do you think sige, next question ko na lang siya. But what are your thoughts around it just came up upon me na to ask you this kasi what are your thoughts around, just focusing as an athlete? Kasi sabi nga nila, mahirap mag-multitask, 'di ba? Pag nag-focus ka, you create more results. But you, for your case, you actually split yourself between so many different roles. What are your thoughts around that? Kasi there's a fine line between, being able to focus and getting distracted kasi marami kang iniisip. Like, what's your, personal thoughts around it?
Yeah, if as much as possible, like if you're an athlete, you should focus on being an athlete, and I will really
Halimaw ka lang
that.
talaga, Cheska. Yun yung sinasabi
No,
mo.
like it was out of necessity. Out of necessity lang naman. It's out of necessity.
Okay.
But like for anyone else, like I highly discourage it. Don't do it.
You
you're an
still
athlete,
want laser
on
focus
being an
talaga.
athlete.
Laser focus
Yeah.
talaga.
Yeah, it should be that way. Like you should concentrate on just that, because being an athlete is not easy, and you need to focus everything on that, and hopefully no one is put in that position in the future.
Right.
Yeah. So,
sabi
sige,
then nabasa ko lang yung comment ni JJ. She's one of those people who thrives under pressure. Not everyone can do it, right? I mean, you really need to be a superhuman to be able to handle those things.
Yeah. Ayun, eto guest din natin from episode 50, James De Los Santos.
What's up?
May gold medal ulit yan.
Oo. Ayan, hi, Cheska daw.
Yeah. So James actually was in the athletes commission also in the last term. So we worked together on a lot of things. So
Right. Yan yung magaling kumanta, 'di ba? Sa
yeah.
Athlete na magaling pa kumanta.
I know.
And parang Chess, like would you say it would be an alam ko syempre, I mean in reality, hindi talaga pantay-pantay yung support sa lahat ng sports sa Philippines. I think that's something that you guys acknowledge. But do you think it's an advantage then from your end na dahil hindi masyadong nasa inyo yung spotlight, that yung sport ninyo is mas less yung pressure? Like, is it an advantage na you can just focus on the athlete, hindi kayo masyado nakikriticize because wala sa inyo yung spotlight? But I know it's also a disadvantage kasi yun nga, mas maganda, mas malaki yung sport. Like, parang yung general thoughts mo around it.
Well, in general, like I would like to highlight the sport more, like, even if it comes with more criticism, because again, like it means that it could give more opportunity to expand the sport in the future. So I mean, we do well with criticism. Like, again, I think with the sport, like we're a game of failure. We understand that. We understand that there's always something we can do better and how to adjust, and criticisms are always welcome, naman. So yeah, of course it gets to us, and as much as possible, of course, I'd like to protect the players from that. But you can't, and you just have to learn how to deal with it. And I think so far, I think we're able to deal with it well. Like the only way that you can deal with any criticism is to perform, and if that's what we're doing, then I mean, all okay, right?
Right. And speaking of, yung you would love the support and the, the spotlight and the attention so that, malaking improvement. It's gonna be great, good exposure and opportunity for softball here in the Philippines to expand and grow. In relation to that, now that you're actually a board member and a secretary general for ASAPHIL, like and you being a past athlete, national athlete and a team captain, and seeing the success that you've created, what are the initiatives that you're looking at for, softball here in the Philippines? And in relation to Lino nga, sabi nga, what's your plan? Is there a softball program nationwide in your calendar activity of ASAPHIL?
Yeah, so right now we can't hold any tournaments, right, because of the pandemic. Of course, safety first. We want to protect all people first. But I mentioned it earlier, and we're starting to put the right people in place. So well, I guess I can mention it now. So we have Paulo Tabirara. He's going to be our director for grassroots development. So he's
Wow.
going to eventually form his team. Then we have the VPs for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So for Luzon, we have Coach Offring. So he's been a board member for a while, and he was the head coach of the men's national team. So he's in charge for men's softball. Then we have Coach Mina Serafico for women's softball in Luzon. And I see now Coach Lizvi Halandoni. So she is going to be our VP for Visayas. And I'm excited for that, especially because a lot, Bacolod is actually one of the centers, I think, for softball in the Philippines. Like a lot of our best players come from there, and they have a really good grassroots program. So I'm so excited to have Coach Lisby on board. She will be able to help us because she's there. She's there based in Visayas. Of course, it's important to put the people who are really active in that area for to help out with the grassroots program. So and then we also have Coach Kiko Diaz, or Professor
Yeah.
Kiko Diaz. He's also the Dean of Human Kinetics for UP. So he's also on
Wow.
board, not as a UP representative, but I'm sure that he can also help with the program development for
Grabe, ah.
softball. So there are like, I can't tell you what the plans are exactly right now because we just we're putting the team together, and once we're able to really sit down and have a strategic plan, of course led by our president,
Yeah.
then I think of course it takes a while, like for any program to be
Yeah.
put in place, it can't just happen overnight. But we're working on it, so I can tell you that.
Yeah. Just like what we're doing now in the Philippine sports, di ba? I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow of the current situation that we're all facing. But, like you said earlier, do your best, di ba? Control what you can control during these times. And that's what you're doing with, Amateur Softball Association of the Philippines. So good luck dyan, Cheska. Of course,
Yes,
support
thank you.
tayo dyan. I think this is also an opportunity then to go through some comments, Ken. I don't know. What do you guys think? Pwede, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Of
So,
course.
ito si Cecil Dormal Waller has been commenting nonstop. So yeah, sabi niya, well said, Cheska. Definitely it's a disadvantage. Support is needed first and foremost.
And I
Yes.
think Cheska, no, being a board member in relation to Cecil, parang certain ng mga susunod na mga softball players kasi they have someone inside that understands where they're coming from, and someone that was a team manager, someone that was also a player, 'di ba? So I mean, sobrang okay yan, 'di ba? Knowing that they're up sa leadership na. Eto,
Yeah.
ewan ko kung ano yung sinasabi ni John Daryl
And
Lopez.
then ignore next.
Grabe, ini-ignore yung mga ano.
Daryl's my best friend. So I actually, in the last tournament, the Asia Oceania qualifiers. So of course, Olympic qualifiers. That's like one of the
Yeah.
most important tournaments. I mean, that was basically it, right? Like, we were like leading up to that tournament, and I needed help with the manager, and I pulled him in to be our team manager for that tournament. So he helped. He lessened the stress.
Oo, tumulong siya. So ngayon, nag-request siya, baka pwede mong pagbigyan daw.
And then di pa din.
Hindi pa rin. Okay. Hindi pa ganun kalalim yung pinagsamahan. Okay. Hindi, joke lang.
Ano na
Ito,
lang, high five na lang.
Ayan,
Sir
from
June!
Ismael
Yeah,
Veloso.
so
Hello,
Sir
Ches.
June he was our former team manager. So yeah, he's been with us for several years, and now he's in the States now, and I hope everything's okay there, Sir June. We still talk. He's still helping out, actually. He's actually helping me. I still need help, of course, and he's kind enough to help. But then,
Grabe.
even if he's no longer with the federation, yeah.
Right. Eto, Ken.
Yeah, supporting and watching you all the way from the US, Ate Cheska, one of the selfless and hardworking athletes I share the field with. Pure leader. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ka. Mabuhay ang atletang Pilipino.
Ay, Tim. ikaw kasi so Tin is my we were I guess training buddies. She's a catcher too. She was a catcher. She decided to move on, pursue a career elsewhere. So yeah, Tin, why'd you leave?
Ayan. Baka yun yung gusto rin tanungin sa'yo ng team. Joke lang. De, kakampi ako kay Coach Randy. Kasi medyo malaking kawalan for me. Medyo malaking kawalan, honestly. Diba? Sabi pa nga ni attorney, diba? We are on the same page. Joke lang, Cheska. Iba tayo. Pero ito, from Christian Altomonte. Is this your brother?
Little bro. Yeah, he's the one. He's the last one in Ateneo. He's playing baseball now too. He's the youngest.
Okay. Ay, he's the youngest. So, okay. Ayan, from babasa lang tayo ng comments ha. Up to you na, Cheska, kung magre-respond ka. Kasi syempre, we give everyone equal opportunity as well. So, Blue Girls still need Cheska.
Hi, Coach.
And,
yeah, he was my coach also.
Yeah, and then from, definitely Chess will always be there for you and the association. Ito, marami pa actually.
Yeah.
Ito, marami nagpaparamdam. From Alvi Joy, Blue Girls still need you, Ate Chess. In relation to your story earlier.
Si Dino yung nagko-control ng mga...
Si Dino.
Hindi, Chess. Ito lang yun, Chess. Baka masabihan kasi akong snub di ba? Mahirap na yun. Baka sabihin yung show namin, hindi exclusivity. Oo, ganun kami. We're just playing fair. Kasi hindi naman negative yung comments, honestly, di ba? Wala naman tayong...
We don't miss out on anyone's comments.
Okay lang.
Baka hindi na ako reply ni Cheska after ng episode natin. Patay tayo, di ba? So yan, in relation to your story earlier, what a stressful time yung 2M na pinagkukwento ni Cheska, yan.
Yeah.
And then from Cecil, of course, player na manager pa. Wow, superhuman ka, Cheska. And then from Ricky, Hortizuela.
Yo!
Pagkasabi ni Dino nung wala nang sa stop, ang dami bigla ng
Go Cheska from Joyce and Payongayong.
Yeah.
Ito, kilala mo to, Sure Ball.
Siyempre, Ann.
Ito yung picture niyo, di ba? Siya yung picture niyo.
Yeah,
Siya yung number,
let me brag about
number
Ann
7.
also.
Siya yung number 7, di ba? Okay, dun yung kami na-confuse sa trailer. Kala nila yung picture yung si Cheska, di ba?
Cheska, okay.
And they think we look alike. So, Ann, she, I know, I have so much to say about Ann, pero sobra din yung story niya, yung comeback niya. So, she got ACL. So, she was pitching for the team. She got ACL. She came back, and then that year she came back. I know we won against Australia and New Zealand. That game, one of my favorite games ever as a Blue Girl. That for the Olympic qualifiers against New Zealand with Anne as a pitcher. Grabe yun, yung game na yun. Extra innings and everything. Like just even like the backstory when you just hear like what even all the players like what they're going through like internally and then having like seeing them like just just deliver during the game and just like But yeah, so Anne is one of those players, like, she's the veteran, one of the veterans now on the team, and,
Sarap balikan, no, Cheska? Joke lang. Teka, anyway, basa tayo comments. Basta Pinoy, they do whatever it takes. Yeah. And then, from, ang dami, grabe, no? From Hello Kicks.
He's my coach in college.
Yun. Hello, sir. Hello, Coach Ronald. Ito yung what I admire about Coach Randy is yung conviction Yung since after the 2019 SEA Games hanggang ngayon consistent yung sinasabi niya. 'Di ba? Don't worry, babalik 'yan. For the love of the game nga 'di ba? Sabi niya. And from dalawang coaches na yan from the
promotion na tayo sa
Tapos from Alvi Joy, waiting for a comeback. And then
kay Chess.
Go.
So, I mean, like, sa what is the most memorable moment for you or the sweetest moment for you being the team captain, as a manager, as like with the whole team? What's the most memorable thing that you'll never ever or you will cherish, that you will
Yeah.
carry with
And
you?
and to add to Kat, that would make you say na it was all worth it.
All worth, yes.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Well, um, I think it's not even just like what we accomplish as a team, but it's like how like the relationships I have with my teammates. I think that over everything makes everything worth it. Like, yeah, it's just that. Like, I think they're always gonna be a part of my life, naman forever, regardless. Like maybe, like now we don't get to talk as often, but when we do, it's like no time has passed. Like I've seen these girls every day for like years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that it's different na din. Like, they're always gonna be, my sisters. Like they're all my sisters.
Yeah.
And I think just knowing I'm gonna, have them forever, it's already worth it. So not
Right,
not just
right.
like, not just the my teammates that I play here every day with, but also like the Philams, like,
Yeah.
even if we only really see each other during tournaments, like, you know, it's always gonna be that connection.
What,
It's
yeah,
the
what makes
relationships,
it,
no?
yeah, what makes it special is the relationships that you've
And
built and created along the years, and then you will forever carry with you and will always be a part of you, as you've said. I mean,
Yeah.
may
Kasi
may
grabe din
iyak
yung
na.
dinaanan namin as a team. We went through a
Yeah.
lot, like as a team. We did. So
yeah, yeah. And maganda yun no? Parang you see yung sabay-sabay kayo nag-grow, sabay-sabay kayo
Mm-mm.
you get to experience all
yeah,
of
yeah.
these things from losing to
Sabay-sabay happy,
winning.
sabay-sabay umiiyak,
Umiiyak.
sabay-sabay stress.
Yun yung
Ups
beauty
and
ng,
downs.
I don't know if you agree with me, Cheska, yun yung beauty ng sports eh. It has the power to unite a country. It has the power to unite people from different backgrounds. It has the power to unite people from different cities, provinces, di ba? Like, what's your, ano dun? Do you have anything to share around that, kasi I heard it from someone na it has the power. Like what Heidelin did, di ba? Na with her winning in Tokyo, it united a nation. And now we're on uncertain times. 'Di ba parang all the more that we need sports because it has a chance to unite our country
Yeah,
and our
yeah, no,
fellows.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. That's very true. I think it really does have the power to unite. Um, and it's not just the Philippines, like, but all like Filipinos in the world. Like we get support like everywhere we go. Like even if we're in Georgia, in Oklahoma, in Canada, anywhere we go, anywhere we have a tournament, there is always a Filipino team or community that will cheer for us and come out with like,
Grabe. Ba talaga?
with food, or like they'd always come out, like, they always give us food and they'd always be there cheering. So
Ah,
without
wow.
fail talaga. Without fail. As in without fail, we always have support from the Filipino communities abroad, wherever we are. So, that's honestly great. Like it's always so nice to see and have. And we're very very thankful for that too.
Yeah. So Chess, since most of your teammates are here already, we have to talk about the title of the episode. Have a day. So it's a big
Have
part
a
of,
day.
yeah, it's a big part of who you are as a team. So can you like share a story like how it started, how it manifests
Um,
with your team?
we we got it actually, I think, from the Philippines. I'm not entirely sure, but so every time that we go out, before we go out to play, like they call it the lineup and everything. Like we give each other high fives and we always say like have a day. So we say have a day, have a day, have a day. So
Yeah.
basically what it means is just to go out there and have a day, dominate, have fun, do your thing, and just crush it. So when we go out there and we just tell each other to have a day, I mean that's I think also it describes the team very well, because we like to have fun too. So like when um like you'll see us, you know sometime in the game, like we have all these cheers, like different cheers per person, or we try to laugh, have fun. Like that's really what it is. When we get too stressed, also when it gets so serious, the game gets so serious. Um, you like we always just try to like bring it back to like having fun, because at the end of the day, when you're having fun, the results will come.
When you enjoy the process, no?
Yeah. So it describes the team, I think, very well.
Right. So have a day is all about enjoying what you're doing. Tama ba?
And dominating and crushing it and doing
Ayun!
well, and like,
Yun
know,
pala yun.
yeah. So like when you say like, hey, you go out there and have a day, you do your best and you play your game. Like it's going to be my game, you know.
Right. And you know, what would have a day look like for Cheska Altomonte moving forward?
Okay, well, having a day would be seeing the Blue Girls win a medal in the Asian Games next year.
Kasama ka ba
I'm
or
hoping.
Hindi, si Ken yung tinatanong ko. Sorry.
Ba't ako?
Hindi, kala ko manonood si Ken kaya tinatanong ko
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's what having a day is gonna be about. Like, making sure, like, I know, okay, honestly, right now, like, we're having a hard time. Like, the team is having a hard time. Like, struggle talaga. Like, because they just want to get back and play again. And, like, of course, like, there's the mental fatigue and emotional fatigue and, like, financial issues. Like, it's hard all around. Like,
Right.
but, I mean, you're all here, like, whoever is here from my teammates, laban lang. Okay, please just message me. Like, we'll do something about it.
Right.
We're trying to do something about it. But
Right.
next year na yung Asian Games. Like, we want a medal. Let's do it.
Right. I think kasama ka, Chess, kasi board member ka, di ba? Oh.
Yeah, I'll be there to help with the program naman. Yeah.
Kasama ka. Tama naman pala.
Kasama
Yung
ko
tanong,
din.
valid naman pala yung tanong ko.
Oo nga, manager.
Manager, di ba? Oh. Yun.
Valid.
Pero...
Tama naman. I mean, we're just like, whoa.
Wow.
What was that? No. But I mean,
Right.
Cheska, yeah, go Dino. Sorry, go.
Yeah, sige. Siguro for me, parang, we have a segment here on For the Love of the Game. That we call Bet on Yourself. No? Sige, Kat, you can ask your question after this. But
sure.
siguro I wanna throw it out to Cheska na rin. We actually gave an opportunity for our guests to declare something in public.
Yeah. No.
Something that they wish to achieve. Maybe short term, maybe long term. But something you wish to happen.
Parang kinakabahan kami no?
So that we can always look back. Now, once you achieve it, you could say na, uy, I made it happen. Gandang balikan. So, yun.
Okay. I'm gonna bet on the Blue Girls making it to the top 10 in the world and win a medal in the Asian Games eventually. Like, I'm hoping it's next year, if not next year, because of course, with the pandemic, the landscape is really different. But the Blue Girls are going to win a medal in the Asian Games and make it to the top 10 in the world.
Right. So, podium finish.
Podium
finish,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a good bet on yourself. Like, I mean, it's not really like for you personally, but I mean, as a whole, for everyone, we're gonna look forward to that. Yeah, we're gonna look forward to that. And of course, yun nga, you being, an inspiration to your team, to everyone else around, who's here with us right now and who will be watching this. What would be your message to those young athletes, to those aspiring athletes, with in who wants to have a career in sports or maybe in life in general, like, what would be your message to them to encourage them?
Yeah, like, well, my message really would be not to give up. Like, I know, like, everything seems like impossible with the pandemic and it seems like we're never gonna get back to sports, but I still believe that there is going to be a future for sports, for softball in the Philippines. And like, we're also working on programs, so like stay tuned. Or if you have suggestions, please, I'm all ears. Like, let me know, message me, and if it's something I think that we can do as a federation, like I'm open to it. So yeah, like please don't give up and help out if you can. If you really love the game, like I really, we want to be inclusive as a federation too, and that means really listening to everyone, not just the national team or athletes. Or not, we're not trying to be very like closed off. So yeah, like that's really all. That's really all I have to say about that.
Wow. So
And have a
kumbaga,
day,
you
guys.
guys, yeah, kumbaga, basically what you're saying is you guys are open to, yung support, not just financially, but also yung suggestions on how it can be improved.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? I think maraming, Chess,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the comments all throughout, maraming suggestions na dyan eh. Yung, ito, pakita ko yung mga isang suggestion.
I didn't miss a lot, yeah.
Ito, isang suggestion to from James De Los Santos. May question
Sabi ko
mark
na
here.
eh.
Diba?
Oh.
Tama, suggestion yan, di ba, Chess? Di ba, open ka for suggestion? Ayun, di ba, suggestion, di ba? Hindi, sinusupport ko lang, nire-reinforce ko lang yung sinabi ni Chess na very open siya to suggestion. Ito, isa pang suggestion. Isa pa, please. Di ba? Asian Games pa. Next year, Chess. Di ba?
Guys, no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure naman. Suggestion lang, te. Asian Games, Chess. Diba? Isa pa, Ate Chess. May common team yung suggestions. Yun naman. Ewan ko, medyo energetic ako today so pasensya na, Chess. Diba? Ayan, isa pa, Ate Chess. Diba? May emotions
I think kasi like Cheska, yeah. No, I think Cheska kasi really embodies it, like the perfect, like she's your role model to everyone. Like you have been, this perfect example of being that person to and that's why I think people around you are having a hard time seeing you off. I mean, not seeing you on the field and stuff, but obviously you've made a difference in their lives. You've made a difference in the sport, and that's why it's special. You embrace these moments. I mean, like hindi lahat ng tao gustong, 'di ba? Na-experience yan na gusto nilang may bumabalik sa gets. I mean, not everyone likes have those moments, but I mean for you, kaya may mga ganyan. I think the positive way in thinking, the way you impact their lives, the way you are making it very special for them also. So I mean, to look at it in a positive way, Cheska.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully naman, we're able to make a difference in the sport. So.
Yes.
Ayan,
it may not be in the field, but, of course, you are doing it.
Isa pa yan. Yung mga
Ayan, we miss you, Kapitana, from Keith Ezra Halandoni.
This is another beast on the field. She's bata-bata pa yun. Tapos she's striking out all these Olympians and whoever.
Grabe. OBF. Yan. Tapos, ito, medyo, minsan, di ba, parang pag naghingi tayo ng suggestion, hindi naman nagbibigay yung mga tao, pero yun ang hingi ka, medyo, hindi ka pa humihingi, Cheska, ng suggestion, di ba? Last part na tayo, pero before pa nun, nagsuggest yung mga tao.
Hindi ka na tinipigilan ni Dino.
Hindi. Inclusive tayo, guys. Inclusive tayo. Gusto lang. Ito, medyo maganda to. Kat, ikaw na lang nito. Medyo mahaba.
Yeah, sabi nga ni Cecil, wow. That's why putting the right people in place is important, like Cheska. Like, she's been through it all. She is an elite for a reason. She can definitely keep Philippine team in that elite level simply because she knows how, and she has the in-depth knowledge of the sport. And again, when it is all because of for the love of the game, a passion, one becomes unstoppable. Our Philippine sports is very fortunate to have you, Cheska. Maraming salamat. Wow.
Thank you for your kind comments. You've had a lot today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Grabe, Ayan. Ito,
Ayan
Ken, ikaw na. Baka magalit na sa akin si Cheska para fair naman. Sige, Ken, ikaw na.
O yan, sabi, Asian Games, Cheska.
Asian Games.
Pwede pa, ate. Well put, Cheska. You are making me tear
Me
up.
tear up. Yeah.
Ayan, sweetest moments still coming. He's coming back. Got
Wow.
nothing here but praises for
That's
Cheska.
that's Dennis. So Dennis is also a board member. So he was the former Secretary General, now board member also of ASAPHIL. So he's gonna be helping out too.
Yan.
Yeah, the relationships and memories made are truly priceless.
Another suggestion. Ayan.
Gagawa pa ulit tayo
I
ng
know.
memories sa darating na Asian Games.
Paano ba mag-block ng comment?
Actually, pwede naman. Pero, baka ano tayo eh.
Last na chess,
Ayan
Asian
na,
Games.
Coach Ron. Ayan na, kompleto na yung roster ng coaches.
Ayan,
Wow.
kinompleto na nila, di ba?
Kompleto
I mean, pwedeng external yung suggestion, pwedeng internal din, di ba? So, ayan. Ito, ayan, Carpe Diem. I think that was based from, Carpe Diem.
Seize the day.
Seize the day.
Seize the day. Cheska's Day.
Ayan,
Meron nga ako
nakisali
nakita.
Nakisali
Hindi,
siya
meron
dun
ako
sa
nakita
Bet on
eh.
Yourself. Ang sabi ni Alvi Joy, seeing the blue, di ba ikaw sabi mo 10, top 10, tapos podium finish sa kanya, seeing the blue girls with Ate Chess, di ba?
Yun. May,
Oo,
may
so-
bet on yourself din sila eh. Na parang yun din yung...
Parang
Gusto
mabablocklist ata ako nito ni Chess. Patay
Meron
tayo.
ako nakita kanina, be a Cheska. Grabe talaga yun.
Oo. Ito, sige. Isa-isay natin. Ayan, comeback
Ay,
kid.
nako. Bahada.
Naku, baka mag-leave. Dino, let's,
Okay, de, Chess. Okay ka pa naman, Chess ka. Okay pa naman. With us.
Yeah, okay pa naman. Hindi pa naman
Okay
may
pa.
comment
iiyak,
yung,
so-
may comment
okay,
yung
okay.
kapatid niya.
Ano ba goal ba
Dino.
dito? Ano ba goal dito?
Sino ang comment niya? Anong
Yung sa last,
Si Christian.
sa 9:30, si
Ayan.
Christian.
My arm is stronger
Ayun,
Ito
than
naman
yours.
yung arm is
Ito yung
stronger.
Kat, ito yung gusto kong suggestion. Bakit? Kasi china-challenge siya si Chess, kaya hindi lang sa
Oh, yun na nga
suggestion
eh.
Patunayan
Diba?
mo, Chess, na mas malakas.
sige. Sama mo na din si Dino. Where's
Yung kapatid niya na.
Yan.
Dino, Christian. No, they've got strong arms actually. I think fine, maybe.
Yan.
Maybe a little bit close. Ayan na. Yung chant, Daryl, that's your chant there.
Yan. Hi, Pilipinas, sige laban. Huwag papatalo kahit kanino.
Si Dino na nag...
Ay.
Dino na
Ay,
nag...
hindi ko kabisado.
Paano ba?
Belix.
Paano ba? Hindi ko kabisado eh.
Paano ba, Cheska? Kasi...
Yan na. Pilipinas. Sige, laban. Huwag papatalo. Kahit na kanino. Oh, Blue girls.
Wow.
Galing! Nice.
Ganda,
Ni
I
John
didn't know
Darin
that.
Lopez, oh.
I didn't know that. Grabe,
Pero,
no? Ito,
galing ah. Nice one.
ito yung nagsabi, oh.
Oo.
Via Cheska.
Yeah, that is one of my best friends too. She's been there through it all.
Yeah.
I beg to,
Another one. She's
I
also-
beg to disagree. We are just inclusive na we are just hindi kasi 'di ba, I mean, ang sport namin tatlo is basketball. So I don't think we're just open to suggestions just like Cheska as a
Okay.
platform.
Yeah. So, Bada and Elise, one of my closest friends, grew up playing with them, so they've seen it through, like everything, like all the stages of me
Right.
going crazy, crying, everything. They've seen it all.
Grabe, no? Grabe. And grabe, parang I know, hindi ganun ka-popular ang softball sa Philippines, pero grabe yung, that's what I noticed with the minor sports, yung hindi masyadong napapansin or underrated sports. I wouldn't say minor, pero sorry for that. But I wouldn't say yung mga hindi popular sports sa Philippines. Grabe yung tightness and closeness ng community, 'di ba? And it is evident here. It is evident here, 'di ba?
Very much evident,
Oo,
yes.
'di ba? So yan, communication, yes, you are a leader, Chess. I love what you said about being inclusive, a great quality of a true leader, 'di ba? So
Thank you.
tapusin na lang natin yung comments. Ayan na, narinig na natin lahat. Pwede na pa siya. Marami testigo na pwede pa daw. Tapos yan, Queen Things. That's yun, of course, you know, your coach misses you. Of course, we're in a
Yeah,
pandemic.
miss you,
I think we
coach.
miss, di ba kami naman nila Kat, nila Ken, we all have our teammates, we have our sports family as well. I'm sure Kat Ken, namimiss na natin yung mga teammates natin, yung mga kalaro natin sa basketball. Sobrang namimiss ko na talaga. I can't wait for sports to come back. Ayan, oh. Ito, hindi naman sa national team, pero laro ka daw sa club team nila. Oo, di ba? So, yan, you still owe James sa kwento. Ikaw na bahala dyan how you wanna handle that. Ano pa ba? Ayan, of course. Ayan, I think we pretty much
Nakakayak daw si Chess.
Yeah.
Nakakayak siya.
Kasi literally parang yung love mo talaga pag nandun, 'di ba? Ibang klase talaga So, of course, Chess, maybe you wanna take this opportunity to promote something that you're actually a part of right now, which is yung Safe Sport Technical Working Group ad hoc committee ka. Maybe you wanna talk about it for our viewers as well. What are you guys doing? What are you guys promoting? Maybe people can support the initiatives that you have. How can they support? Take us through it.
All right. So right now, I'm part of the Safe Sport Technical Working Group. So right now, actually, we're still writing the policies to safeguard athletes. And eventually, right now, like we're really just focusing on POC and their members and the members. But eventually, we do want to expand to make sure that, the Philippine sports landscape is safe for everyone. And hopefully,
in what way, Chess? In what way?
Safeguarding from everything, from abuse of any kind, from grooming. There's like a lot to it, right? So we just wanted to make it a safe landscape, basically. And you have Meggie coming on also this month, and she will really be able to help that. So the Safe Sport PWG was initiated by the Athletes Commission, but it's now being handled by Meggie, who is really like the best person for it, because that's she really knows what she's doing. So yeah, hopefully we're able to once we're able to finalize the policy, which we're still writing. And also again, thank you to Attorney Mickey and Attorney Agra for helping also look through it, the legalities of that. And hopefully it will be adopted by all sports organizations, not just the NSAs, but all sports organizations, whether it's a club or anything, like really just to make sure that we are safeguarding our people.
Right. Great. And I think it's a great development. I think it just came out during this pandemic, di ba? Yung Safe Sports na yan.
Yeah. So we're
sorry.
still working on it. Yeah. So hopefully if you're here and you're watching, like, if you want to keep track of that, and once we have the policy out, maybe you can, adopt it also for your own organization. That would be great.
Wow. Looking forward to that development as well. And of course, Chess, I think one of the things that you want to promote as well is women in sports, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was one of the things that you want to talk about and advocate about it. Maybe you wanna share more about it right now.
Yeah, in general, like I really just wanted to encourage, more women to go out there and be leaders in sports. So not just the athletes, and not just focusing on the women athletes, but also like women leaders in sports. So it's I think it's time also that we stop being scared to really get out there and take the lead in whatever it is in your sport, if you think that you're the best person for it. So it's really more of just like encouragement, that it can be done, even if you have to fight a lot of people in the process. But again, like if you're the right person for it, then you should go ahead and do that.
Right. Ayan. So great encouragement, of course, from Cheska for all the women out there, not just in sports, I guess, but also whatever industry you're in, is to fight for what you believe in, and never be, I guess, afraid to get what you deserve or fight for what you deserve, diba? So, ayan. Of course, maraming salamat, Cheska. Just to clear, wala kaming connivance with anyone in the audience because we just met them today. Walang collusion yan. Walang collusion yan.
Wala na.
It just naturally came out.
Baka you wanna do a follow-up on this apparent throwdown I'm having with my brothers to see who has the strongest arm.
Oh, yeah.
Anong
Pwede.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
Sige.
they've been competing here. Baka bigyan tayo ng
Friendly
update.
banter.
Update mo na lang kami dyan with regards to that. But nonetheless, Cheska, it was a pleasure having you here. And of course, Kat, maybe you want to say your thanks to Cheska.
I thank you, Cheska, for sharing your Wednesday night with us. It has been a very enjoyable, it's fun interview with you, talking to you and hearing your story and what you have accomplished. I know you're younger than me, but you have accomplished a lot of things, and I mean, I do understand why now. I do understand why your teammates, your team, your coaches wants you back. I say it in all honesty because I see like how you are as a leader and how you do represent your team so much and the sport itself. So, but yeah, it has been an honor and a privilege talking to you tonight. So thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thanks, Kat.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's nice to talk to people also who have similar mindset and doing everything for the love of the game. So and of course, thank you for also putting a highlight, I guess, on softball. It's in the Philippines, and it's always nice. It's always nice to talk to people with similar mindsets.
Great. Thanks, Kat. Ken?
Yeah, so Chess, thank you so much. Sobrang love ko na sobrang game ka to the point na lagpas na tayo 9:30. We still read the comments kasi that goes to show na you're really beloved by your teammates, by your coaches, and sobrang game ka lang. I mean, nakakatuwa lang. Ayun. So,
iniipon lang niya. Mamaya magbabato na yan ng ano.
Baka ayun, thanks, Ken. Ako, Chess, sobrang, baka blacklisted na ako. Thank you for being a good sport, in all honesty, kasi, masyadong, iba yung energy ko ngayon eh. Parang
Nadala.
masyado kong, naparami natin napakita yung mga suggestions of other people. But I hope you don't take it against me. I just hope na you see it. I just hope you see it as something na, of course, whatever, regardless naman, whatever your decision may be, full support naman. I'm sure yung teammates mo, yung coaches mo, the people that, love you, your family, your friends. And of course, for me, kahit I've never watched a softball game after this pandemic, guaranteed, pag may laro kayo sa Philippines, manonood ako. To support the ASAPHIL. Kasi na-realize ko sa pandemic, there's no other way but to support one another, regardless of what sport what your age group is, what your social status is. As long as we have that love for the game, for the sport, we can help support one another during these times, diba? Tulong-tulong talaga eh. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Sure.
Ayun, Cheska, maybe last words, and you want to shout out, people dito sa...
Well, just thank you, everyone. It's so nice just to be able to interact with you, even if it's through comments such as those. But to my teammates, coaches, my family, who's making asar lang there in the side. Thanks. It's fun. It was fun. It was fun to talk about all of this and reminisce about the sport I used to play.
Used to play and still gonna play.
So yeah. Just thank you to everyone. Like, it's really nice to be able to interact with you guys again. Hopefully we'll see each other again soon. I can't wait to see you guys out.
Baka maturuan
life.
mo kami, 'di ba? Maturuan mo kami nila Kat, nila Ken, mag-softball para ma-try lang din namin.
For sure.
Oo, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Since, 'di ba? So, yeah, thank you so much, Cheska. I hope you can read through all the comments kasi hindi na natin nabasa lahat. But sana you get to go back and read through it. But maraming salamat, Ches, for the opportunity to have you here. And see you soon. See you soon talaga.
Right. See you and thank you. Thank you again.
All right. So, bye, Ches.
Bye, Ches.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Ayan, there you have it. The GOAT of women's softball, Cheska Altomonte. So grabe, sobrang game talaga. And thank you so much guys, yung mga nag-comment, yung mga nag-share nung trailer. Grabe, supportan ni Ches, no? Grabe, ibang klase.
Grabe. Parang kung ako si Cheska, babalik ako. Kung ako lang si Cheska.
Nadala masyado si Dino.
Kung ako lang naman. Kasi kung, alam mo yun, parang kung ganyan yung mga former teammates mo, tapos yung coaches mo, di ba, once you back, parang sarap bumalik eh. Especially during this pandemic, parang I wanna be part of the team that wants me back. Di ba?
Yes.
Yun lang naman thoughts ko dun.
Yeah,
But of
not
course,
everyone gets, experience that, di ba, na gusto mo
Tama.
bumabalik. But yeah, I'm sure Cheska will, has her reasons and will pero we respect whatever it is,
Yes.
whatever decision Cheska will make in the future. Of course, for sure, we respect it, and yung teammates din niya, yung team niya. But yeah.
Yun. So, apart from her teammates, her coaches na nandito, nag-comment, syempre, pasasalamatan din namin yung mga long-time viewers namin, like sila Arsenic, si John Darwin Chua, si Gab Ferreras, maraming salamat. And mga former guests natin, James De Los Santos, si Arnold Balais, nag-tune in kanina, and of course, Attorney Mickey Ingles. And last but not the least, of course, the Dream Team, making this all happen, the graphics, the posters, the trailers, sila po lahat ang responsible dyan. And kita-kita tayo naman ulit sa October 20 Wednesday, 8 p.m. pa rin po, featuring world-class jiu-jitsu practitioner si Meggy Ochoa. So sama-sama po tayo dyan. So don't miss it. So jot down on your calendar, October 20, Wednesday, 8 p.m. So yon. So that does it for our episode for tonight. On behalf of the Dinolicious Dinoli and the One-Arm Mama Miss Kat Tan, ako po si Ken Pangilinan, saying so long, stay safe, and see you on the next episode of For the Love of the Game. Good night, guys.
Peace out. Bye.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going, I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path. If you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at. Yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done. I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want. Yeah, rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won. Yeah, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.